The next day would be Thanksgiving, some close. So we drove from Kirksville to go south of Missouri in a town called Camdenton. And I look on my right, dead trees. On my left, dead trees. And we drove miles and miles and miles and miles of dead trees, no leaves on them. Finally, I could not hold it any longer. So I burst open. What happened to this country? All the trees are dead. And they laughed just like you did. And I said, did I say something dumb? They laugh again, exactly. And they went ahead to tell me that it's called winter, the leaves fell, and the trees are hibernated, and in the spring they will bring back to life again. All those was lecture to me. Because in my country, we have leaves on the trees 12 months a year, 365 days. Never miss one. Okay? But the day ended up pretty good because when we arrived where we were going and I sat on a table, I've never seen so much food in my life before. And you had turkey, you had all kind of sweets, and they have pies. That day, I think I ate for most of my life. Then I came to college. Mobile, Missouri. Then spring come. And I do see leaves start popping on the trees. And I got crazy. I went to all the trees and grabbed the leaves and smelled them and flowers. It's been a lot of months since I've seen flowers. So I got very sick. And they took me to the hospital, and the doctor, before he talked to me, he said to me, "Sir, where are you from?" I said, "I'm from Haiti." And he looked at me and said, "You are at the wrong place." And they told me that it's the leaves and the pollen and things like that that make me sick. And I looked at the doctor, I said, "It's worth it all." Fast forward, we survived. We graduated. My friend, when I met last Monday with my dear friend Terry, his mom, and our beloved youth minister and great song that he has chosen, and when I have the privilege to talk to you tonight, all that keep ringing, and thankfully, we had also there in the one of the song he chose, that word came back, faithful. You know I wanted to sing? Great is thy faithfulness, O God, my Father. There is no shadow of turning with thee. Thou changest not, thy compassion, they fail not. As thou hast been, thou forever will be. Great is thy faithfulness. Great is thy faithfulness. Morning by morning, new mercies I see. All I have needed, the hands have provided. Great is thy faithfulness, Lord, unto me. I'm a child of the King of Kings. I'm a child of God. If I take time to tell you about God's faithfulness toward me, my family, my country, we'll be here the whole night. And I know some of you can't wait to go to bed, right? I had two grandparents who were witch doctors. Two. My grandfather and my grandmother were witch doctors. You know what that means? I myself, there is a high chance I myself would be a witch doctor. Do you know what I am today? I am a minister of God. I am a servant of the Most High God. I am the son of the guy who never lose a battle. If he fight 10, he win 10. If he fight 1,000, he win 1,000. He does have ways to mark the enemy. A lot of time he just make the enemy thinks that he's winning, and the enemy start cheering, and then while cheering said, nope, bye-bye. You lose. That's my God. When I was growing up, I find my parents Christians, and that's a win. In Haiti, it's very rare to find a guy of my age was brought in a Christian home. Very rare. My mom, I told you her dad was witch doctor. Her mom was witch doctor. She left voodoo because of something strange that happened in a voodoo ceremony. She was only 6 when she get mad at voodoo. She left the village, went to live with one of her aunts, and never came back. And while she's in the city, she made friends with Christians, girls, who goes to church, and finally she finds the reason to accept Christ. And met my dad, they got married, and somehow, here I am. When I was growing up, I had the toughest time for the simplest things like food, clothes. When I was in my 16, 17 years of age, I went to church every Sunday. There is no question. In my mom's house, no question. 52 Sundays in the year, you go to church 52 Sundays. I did trick her once. And I told her that just a couple years ago. And she still almost wanted to spank me again. I had Christ. And that's what mattered. Would you know that there were several Sundays I would go to church with the same pants, with the same shirt, with sandals? And we're talking about same every Sunday. And there were days I would be coming from school. If it's raining, guess what? I will take the shoes off and walk barefoot home, because if that shoes get wet and happen to be ruined, I will have to go the rest of the year without shoes. And I didn't want that. But during all those tough days, my God was paving the way for me. Fast forward 10th grade. My dad, poor family, he was loving dad. I have a very loving mom and a crazy Christian too. This lady, you think someone believe in God. Check my mom first, okay? And that year of my 10th grade, I know full well there is no way for them to send me to school. They didn't have the funds. But she taught me one thing, though I have to say, reluctantly for my part, because every morning my mom would take us from our home, walk to the mountain to do what? To pray. And sometime 4 in the morning. We should be reporting her to police, right? But what we learn, when she prays, we see the results of prayer. So that was my own experience. I said, God, I don't care. I'm going to school. You provide. I will do my part. What I did, I tutor kids during all the summer. With the money of tutoring, I buy my own uniform and a big notebook. That notebook is to write everything from math, chemistry, you name it. And I keep praying. When I met with my classmates, will you be in school Monday? The answer is yes. But do I have the money yet? No. My mom taught me the money is coming, right? It did come. It did come. My mom was in the river doing laundry when a guy knocked at a little wooden gate and asked for my mom. And I told him my mom is at the river. And he asked me, can you write your name? I was 18. He asked me, can I write my name? It was normal. And I told him yes. And he said, do you have people who live in the U.S.? Yes, but I have an uncle, but we never heard of him. What's his name? And I told him his name. And he said to me, this envelope he sent to you guys. When I opened it, it was enough money for my school fees, the yearly fee, and the first month fee. Monday, I'm in school. The year was difficult. I got kicked out several times from my classroom because I didn't pay on time. But even in those bad things, God was making a way. I just didn't understand it. On December, I remember I was taking tests when the financial director came. Because I didn't pay, they kicked me out. I missed 2 exams that day. In spite of missing 2 exams, I still was the 4th in the class. So I didn't know what God was doing. Second trimester, I came top. Third, I came second. And when one of the parents who knew my dad came for the grade card for his daughter, and he looked at mine, and he saw the first trimester. Oh, you missed 2 exams, and you were still 4th in the class? Wow. He said, I know what I'm going to do for you. I will pay your schooling till you finish high school. This is how I finished my high school. Now you would think I would be crazy about serving God, right? No. This boy has decided to be a lawyer. He wanted to make money. I told my dad that when I was 10. He asked me, what you want to be? I said, Dad, I want to be a lawyer. Why? Oh boy, I'm glad my dad was in his right side that day. I said to him, I don't want to die poor like you. And if you know my dad, kids don't say those kind of things. You pay for it very expensively. But he did something. He looked me straight in my eyes. He said, son, I want 2 things for you. I want you to be a minister of the gospel. I want you to speak English fluently. English, yes. Minister, no. No. So I make my mind. I finished my high school. I will go to law school. I fought with God with all my ounces that I had. And I went to law school, make great grades, and talk in town about a little upcoming puppy who might be a great lawyer. Then when I was in my last year, God said, now let's talk. I was not happy. I don't know, some people don't believe that God still intervened, his own world to create. I don't. I do believe God intervened. And God, the being I was talking to could not be anyone else except God. He said to me, if he gave me a list of scripture to read, and I read them, Bible verses, and he said to me, read the last one with loud voice, Matthew 28, 19-20. And I did. And he said to me, black and white, if you do this, I will bless you. But you will never be blessed the places you think. The places I thought in being a lawyer I will make money. Being a teacher, I will make lots of students put their brain the way I want them. When I went to politics, I can win. I had my own plan make, okay? But that day, he said to me, black and white, if you do this, I will bless you. I woke up in the morning, troubled. Very troubled. My good friends, Omega, who live next door, I went and explained to Omega the dream I had, and Omega looked me straight in my face. He said, you think you can outrun God? Try it. And I feel like doing this to him. But I didn't. By 1 p.m., the places I was going to teach, I said to them, I'm not coming. I didn't tell them why. I went to the same mountain my mom wanted to go with me all the time when I was a kid, and said to God, I surrender. And I did. That day my life changed too. My life makes sense. Suddenly all the little pieces fall into place. It would take only 1 year to get in Missouri to come to Bible college. Even there I thought God made mistake. I did tell him that. I said, God, you make a mistake. I got you. And when he said, what mistake I've made? He said, I'm not supposed to be here. I strongly believe I was not supposed to be there. It was March 1998. Central Choir just finished a tour, and they were going to give a concert at Union Avenue. Terry, you know that? And I was in church that day, not remember anything from morning to the whole thing. That's one day I know I went to church, I sat in the pews, but I was not there. But that evening, the choir was singing, and God was speaking to me. And that song specifically, I said, God, please, one more time. Have them sing it one more time. You remember I said, God, you made a mistake? The song was, God is too wise to be mistaken. I thought God was not good. The same song said, God is too good to be unkind. Same song. When you don't understand, when you can't trust his hand, trust his heart. I have to tell you, my friends, my brothers and sisters, if in the churches in America, I used to see people kneel in front of the pews to pray, I was going to do that time. I just could not wait for that church to be over, not to go to supper, but to go to my room in the dorm to say, God, I'm sorry. You are right. And that was the last link for my life. I can tell you the rest of my years at Central were great. And my life is wonderful. I am a blessed man. Blessed beyond explanation. Okay? When I look at my peers, boys that I grew up with, I wonder why me? But my God is sovereign. He chose to decide. And all I can do is say to him, thank you. Before I came here, in 1997, November, in June, I made the second best decision of my life. I found a gal. She was blind. She said, yes, I do, to me. Now, 18 plus years later, she sees, but it's too late. And I've been married with her for 18 years, on to 19 now. We have a wonderful family. I have 5 boys, 1 little girl, and the girl is the last. Yeah. Yeah, the guy who's going to date her has to be brave. And I'm going to show you a few pictures. And all those things, remember, God is big. God is great. God is mighty. Beside my family, in 2002, when I returned to Haiti after leaving seminary, it's looked like cemetery many times. Amen. Yes. Amen. When I returned home, we started Living Water. First Sunday of February 2003, we started the church. A handful of people. Now God multiplies it. We have already started 3 churches. The first church we worship average 700 on Sunday. The second church above 200 on Sunday. The third church is 170 on Sunday. And all of them are thriving. And it's not about a man. It's about the God who can do great things. I can tell you, my brothers and sisters, I don't know how many plots they had to kill me or to kill my wife, to kill a member of Living Water. And all of them fails. Let me quickly tell you. One day, the whole city filled with the rumor that I died. And people keep flooding to my house to go to see the widow. The first group of people who came, it was late, around 10 p.m. And they knocked at my gate. I have a bad habit. Before I go to bed, I have to drink a cup of juice. I have no solution to that, except when I'm in the U.S. And it's happened that my kids have the same bad habit too. So I just finished to drink my cup of juice, and people was knocking at the gate, and we can hear wailing. We thought it was some of our family member who passed away. When I went, opened the gate. Yeah, that's how it was. One brave woman who was kind of a mother to me, she was the only one who was brave enough to hug me. And she told me the story. And the rumors went a whole week in the whole city. Finally, I had to call a radio station I used to work to tell them, please put me in the air to tell the people I am alive. When things like that happen, it's the enemy who put up something, and he knows full well he would win, but I told you, my God, he knows how to tease the enemy. Make them pretend they are winning, and then it's like you are in football team, let's say. We are in the 4th quarter, okay? You are let's say, 30-0. I mean, there is no way you can lose that game. But you know what my God can do? He can make you lose that game 37 or 31-30. And make you go home sobbing. That's my God. Couple years ago, same thing happened, but this time it was for my wife. That time, it was serious. It was a Sunday. We come back from church. My wife is a cleaning lady. If I were a microbe and I saw her coming, I would be running. Because she would have some Clorox and strong thing to kill me. So she was cleaning. She has her own mixture to be the strong to kill germ. And she fell. She had a big smell, strong smell. And she talked to Lucy, our helper. Do you smell anything? Lucy says, I don't smell anything. Her head starts spinning, so she rushed to the bedroom just to lay her head. And after a while, she prayed a little bit in her heart, and she go back to work. 30 minutes later, my cousin, who is an engineer, he's not a Christian. He was in one of his place. He has a building doing. And he came, opened the gate, rushed, and said to me, what's going on? I said, nothing. He said, nothing? They tell me your wife died. I said, no. And he dropped, sit down. I said, who told you that? He said, I can't tell you now. He said, the person told me your wife died. And I asked him if he's sure. He said, he just come back to see you. You know that time? My wife's rumors death goes not just 1 week, but several weeks. I even have friends from the States calling me basically to reproach me for not telling them my wife passed away. Yeah. Whenever those things happen, is the enemy did something, and he knows full well he made it this time, and God was just mocking him. There was a group of bandits because of the land of that church, the first church you saw. Because when we were buying the land, they wanted to steal that land very bad. They could not. I cannot tell you the whole story. But they wanted to kill me. They know if they kill me, the rest of the people at Living Water will be afraid, and the land will be theirs. Well, they did poison, because there are a couple restaurants in town I used to go to eat, and they seem to hire people to poison my food. Well, guess what? At the same time, I was walking. I was not seeing anybody. It's like in my mind, God telling me, I don't give you the authority to go to eat in any restaurant anymore. Okay. And I come home. My wife said, honey, you do me the favor. Don't eat in any restaurant. If I didn't hear the first one, I have to hear this one. Okay? So this failed. They had a plot to kill me. They came in front of our campus with their vehicle without any license plate in the dark, knowing that I'm going to get out from my office and they would kill me. They picked a day where there was no power, city power. They would be in the dark. Well, as my class was finished, guess what? They gave the city power. And they had to quickly run. Shorten the story, they were in a restaurant arguing how come they failed every time. And one of them put their fist on the table. Who is that Salonique that we cannot kill him? In a restaurant. And one of the young men, his fiancée, is in our church. Bruno now lives in Maryland, okay? Bruno overheard all the conversation. So he managed to finish with his food so that people doesn't suspect he might have connection with me. And he ran to my office to tell me that, I'm going to tell you something, preacher. When I finish to tell it to you, you have to leave the city. I said, Bruno, I can listen to what you're going to tell me, but I can't promise I will leave. And he explained to me. I said, Bruno, let's face it. The list of those things they did to kill me, they failed. Now it's me to run? No, it's their turn to run. Bruno said, no, Pastor, God let me hear this so that you may leave. I said, no, God lets you hear this so that I may know what he has been doing. Well, they left the city, 2 of them, because their name was in the list of people they need to arrest, put in jail, wherever they find them. My friend, this is my God. And this is yours too. And you are special because you are the son of the King of Kings. This is the guy who never loses a battle. This is the guy when you entrust him your life, it's in good hands. Some people may make more money, but they can't be happier than you. Okay? They may have bigger title, but they cannot have better assurance than you. Okay? The world may see them and put flash and camera and everything trying to ask them to do autograph. You may pass by, nobody sees you. That's okay, because in heaven you are special. And all those crazy things here, they are for a little time. Very short time. At best, 100 years of misery. But when you are a child of God, the King of Kings, you are eternal. My advice to you, put your trust in Jesus. Do whatever he wants you to do, and you will not regret anything. There are days when I listen to some of my peers, of my classmates that I was in law school, and people are talking high about them. For 5 minutes or two, kind of a little jealous. I could be that too. Crazy God. And then I turn and see, oh no, mine is much better. Come on. Life is not about money. If life was about money, there would be quite a few happy people in the world who are in misery would not be in misery. So please, I entreat you, give your life to Jesus. That will be the best decision you'll ever make. We're going to see photos, because I know photo is fun, right? We're going to see photos, and I will be quick, because I know I take a lot of time. So let's see. We have a nice lady in the back. Maybe she's the one poking the photos for us. Okay, this is my family. In the family photos, I decide to sit now. I have a reason for that. When your 17-year-old is taller than you, when your 13-year-old is pulling you to see the mirror because he's taller than you, it's time to sit. So that's what I do, okay? So first 5, all boys, and the little girl came. It was January 16, when the nurse said, "Oh, it's a girl!" Guess what I did? I screamed like a girl. I was happy. Next. In ministry, look at your Bible. God never sent any people to ministry one. Always 2 or more. These are the people who are making things happen at Living Water. Whether it is the healthcare in our clinics, on our schools, in our churches, these are some of the people. And I please beg you, pray for them. This is a tough battle in Haiti. But we know our God wins. We're on the right side. So, nevertheless, please pray for us. Next. This is the school in Marmelade. Marmelade is a small village 33 miles east of Gonaïves. 6 years ago, when we went there, we were not welcome. In fact, they did all they could to stop us. But if God is for us, who is stupid enough to stand against us? When we studied that church, one of the witch doctors in the village said, "As long as I'm alive, there can't be a church in this village." Oops. It's not me. You want to know what happened to him? He died. And his wife, seeing that and hearing that, she's a smart lady. She walked to church next Sunday and accept Christ. Because she said, "I want to be in the stronger side." That's what she said. She knew her husband was top dog. She knew her husband was powerful. But for him to say that and right away, now, his kids are among those kids learning about Jesus. But the good news now also, 6 years after, we are welcome in the village, people smiling at us, and we can never have enough space in the school because every year we think, "Oh, this time we have enough space." Nope. More, and more. And we like that because those little kids are the future. And this is the time to train them. Next. This is the school also. And it's a new 2 classrooms. Guys, I invite you to come to Haiti to see. You have great facilities, great libraries, well-trained teachers. But all those is nothing if we don't take school seriously. There is something called iPhone. Big enemies of school. Because sometimes instead of studying, we go like this. Okay? Next. No. Oh, no. These are our beloved angels. Okay. Do Do us the favor not to tell us the two, okay? Next, please. Yes, this is the church. Would you imagine 6 years ago there was no church, nobody worshiping there? And now those people, when they are worshiping Christ, they are crazy. Crazy bunch. They praise so loud, they want to take the roof off. Next, please. This is the church, the second church plant. That's White Mountain. We didn't have opposition like we did in Marmalade, like witch doctors getting against us. But I was not ready to start a church there because it's a White Mountain. Nobody. No trees, no water. But when God tells you to do something, don't ask him why. Because usually what he asks you doesn't make sense. I don't know if you have not figured that out yet, I tell you this. A lot of time, God asks you to do something, it doesn't make sense. If I were Joshua, I had a big wall to tremble down, and you are God, at least give me some big machine gun or some big loader and I can... But walking? That's why I love the little Veggie Tales. Keep walking. Okay? If you obey, God will act. And we did. We went. And if they would tell me 3 years after, this will be the fastest growing place in the city, I would not believe it. Consequently, this is one of the fastest growing church too. We start with just a handful of people. 3 years later, if they have 170, it's a bad day. And it's not the number, it's also the people. They are gold. They love for Christ. They love for each other. I know people are people, okay, and we know that. But there is love at that church. So please pray for them. And this team was from Oklahoma. They went and gave medical care, and that's what they were doing there in White Mountain. Next, please. This is the school we're trying to build for them there. But now the enemy is frowning. The land is ours. We get the title. We have the title from the government. And there is a family who has lived the whole time in the area. Now they claim the land is theirs. So we are in court. I don't worry. You know why? You know why? My God never loses a battle. And I would not take, God would not let me put all that money in that place if he knew I was going to lose it. So I'm just resting, waiting when he will say it. Because when he said, be still, I am God. If you are man, let him go. Okay? So please pray for White Mountain. Next. It's the same place, the school. And those are CCCB students, my alma mater, our alma mater. They went to see us and work with us. Next. This is the church, Sunday night. And they were celebrating their Jesus. Next. Yeah. The Lord grows this church one at a time. And I'm quickly saying that if some of you are here are not baptized yet, even some of the adults, this is the time to do it. Sooner is better. We are not guaranteed tomorrow. All we have is the now. Many things happen in life. If I knew that's how it's going to end, I would act differently. So, my young friends, you can give your life to Jesus today. My, like me, not quite young anymore, friends, if you have not made Jesus Christ your Lord yet, this is the time to do it. Sooner is better. If you give Jesus your life, you are not going to lose anything. In fact, you will win everything. Next. This is the first church. That's where my brother preached in February. Those people are the people he was speaking to. Preach a great message, cloud of witness. Next. That's the building we are worshiping now, but it's a long alley like this, and I'm tired of worshiping there now. Well, that's been for a long time, because it's full. People sit outside, and I cannot compete with cute boys and cute girls. You know, when you are preaching and a baby girl pass, and all the adults, oh, can we hold him? Can you hold her? And they forget if there was a preacher yapping. Okay? So I want all of them to be inside so that they are not distracted by little kids. But when they are outside in the classroom, they get distracted easy. But thank God, we will move in December 20 this year. Now, we don't have the chairs yet, but I tell them, we are moving. I don't care, standing or sitting. We are going. That's one thing we are hoping to get also, funds for chairs before December 20. Next. This is where we are going, but that was last year. Last year, that's how it was at this time. Look how it is now. Next. Yeah. This is my God, huh? He does get greens. He hide them sometime. Okay? He provides. And this is another miracle, the way he provided it. And my friend, he provides what you need. We just have to rely on him. Let's do like little kids in his hands, and you will be safe. Next, please. This is the school. When we started 12 years ago, we had 17 students. This year, in our schools put together, we have over 1,100 students. Just after 12 years. And those kids who are in town, they also fed one hot meal a day. And we want to extend the program to all our students. So over 700 of them eat one hot meal every day. Now, I want you to know that one hot meal every day is business. When I was in school, I would love one hot meal a day. And many days, some of them, that would be the only meal they will eat. And my wife always knows some of their situation, and she always try to hide an extra bowl later for the day. But simple meal, rice and beans, or spaghetti, or cornmeal and beans, simple meals, but very valuable meal for them. Next. We're also teaching our kids leadership. That day they were having political debates because there were 3 candidates running to be president of the school. And they were presenting their programs and they were convincing the voters to vote them. Well, like an election, one win, few fans are happy and few fans are crying, okay? But it was fun. We wanted them to start learning how to lead now. It's not when they are old, we need to teach them. It's now. Next. This is the plates in the cafeteria, the meals. Simple, as I said, rice and beans. Next. The girls are enjoying the meals in the cafeteria there. Next. This is a classroom of 12th grade. One of the most beautiful classrooms we will have in town. And we have it. You know why? Our God is able. If you saw how we started, you would not send your kid. Yeah. Next. Now, one thing that we are putting a project to have a farm. It's not a success this year yet because we had no rain while you had all the rains. Yeah. If you just sent some to me, that will be balanced, okay? I had none. So we lost everything too. Next. Because there was no rain, no crop. We did plant lots of seeds. We planted 30 acres and nothing. Yeah, but that's okay. We need a well so that we can irrigate our own farm to solve that problem. Next. Would you believe that's how it looked like last year? Same place? Yeah, that's peanut. I love peanut. Yeah. And I saw someone have some peanuts who are still in shells. Oh, salty peanuts in the shell. I have some on my desk too. Yeah. Yeah. Next. This is the health clinic. I want you to understand all these in the 12 years. All these. This is the health clinic. One of my friends from Illinois here in the state helped big time in building this. Scott Yates. Yeah. And now we are serving the community. Next. This is the people waiting to see their doctor. Next one. This is one of the doctors from the States also, Illinois. He's from Springfield. They have a team every year that goes. 10, 14, 15 people, doctors and nurses. And when they go, they see thousands of patients. Busy, morning to evening. And one thing I love about them as well, when they are seeing a patient, if they can't do the job, they pay for that patient to get that care. This coming month, December 3rd, one of our boys in the school, they met. He has a big cyst, almost like, I don't know if it's cancerous yet. They are bringing him here in Springfield to have surgery. You see? And guess what? That happened because we have a big connector. God. His mom is beaming. His dad is elated. And the boy cannot wait. And in fact, coming to the States is a plus. They all want to come to visit USA. Now they're coming. I don't care if it's for surgery. We're coming. Next. This is the kindergarten. After 12 years, we finally have it this year again because our God is able. One of my friends from Cincinnati, Bill Wagner, he collect the money, take a team of guys, they started it, and the Haitians finish it. And now the kids having a kindergarten education. Next. This is the village we want to be next year. Now we talk opposition. This is one. All the lands there are dedicated to the evil spirit. Nobody wants to sell their land to plant church. But we're in prayer. We know we will win. It's just a matter of when. So we will have church, school, any kind of program. In fact, this morning the Lord woke me up telling me that the first thing I need to have is to have a reading program for all the adults in the village to teach them how to read and write, and to have a goat project so that every family owns a goat. I didn't have that in mind. I asked him how we're going to have. He said $50 per person. We'll give a goat to a family. And when I sit down and think, in 10 years, the whole village will completely know how to read and write. Guess what I will be using as book? The Bible and Christian books. That's what they will be reading on. They are not going to read about the power of their little pity gods. They are going to read about the power of my God. And the hope is in 10 years, the whole village completely will be Christian. While they will be able to have a living too. Next. This is the same village. It's just another view. Next. Those are some of the prayer requests. We want to have a radio station, and please pray for that. They're still trying to test our patience. But we'll be patient, waiting on God to do things. You can read the prayer request on the screen. And if you have questions, I will try to answer. You were great. You were great. Questions? Any questions about Haiti, about ministry? Any? Well, if you don't ask me question, guess what? I will ask you questions. No. Do you have the booklet, my brother? Okay. You will receive, this is the report for the year. And give my teenage friend their own booklet too. We're talking about the well and the piping, $25,000 about, but the whole project for the irrigation is 52. So, Grace can take picture. And Janet will make sure we are safe. Well, it's probably wiser we buy it there. Because there is something called immigration. Custom.
Salonique, now would be the time to ask him to come down because not a one of them's going to say over my dead
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes, it does take a passport to get to Haiti. So my advice to you, put an application tomorrow. Yes, thank you. I was just trying to rob it to have you next time too, right? Yeah, a passport is necessary. You don't need a visa. The family paid that much. Our ministry paid the rest. But really, it's you. It's you. Without our friends in USA, we could not have done it. No way. I mean, the budget is not that high. It's $40,000 every month to run everything. Okay? But I don't look like $40,000 if you know where I'm from. Now, if you see what God has been doing, you may say I worth a few more than that. But it's my God. I have a lot of people God has used in special ways. Let me put it this way, special ways. There are times we come that short to have our salaries ready. And early on, I used to be very stressful when those payroll time is coming, and I would shorten my sleep, and I would stand up and pace in the hall of my house. I don't do that anymore. I went to bed and sleep. Let God who stayed the whole night worry about that for me. And He always provides. Always provides. It's like the church. I mean, we were thousands of dollars short. And one family, God pushed their hearts, see their needs, and He has already given them the means. They write one check, 6 figures, and they work. The construction is doing. Lots of people is earning their salaries. Families are happy. Kids go. A lot of things happen as blessings of that. Our God is able. We do have a sponsorship program, so you can actually sponsor a child at Living Water. If it's an elementary child, it's $30. It's junior high and high school. It's 50 every month. And that's helped us to feed the kids. That's helped with the education. All the kids eat. Well, adults too, you know. And I cannot overemphasize the impact of that meal. You know, before that meal, we had a bunch of cranky students crying, headache all the time, stomach pain. Not anymore. They do have a few cases of headache, but no more headache. Or sometimes they didn't do the homework, and now the teacher's going to ask the homework. They have headache because the homework was not ready. But these are not our angels, okay? Excellent question. 2004, when the first big hurricane came, thankfully I have a very astute wife. We didn't lose any kid. I was not dead. I don't know why. Because I was supposed to be dead. In fact, for a few seconds, I thought I was dead. I thought I was electrocuted, really. But got out of the plane. We managed to make it to the roof. We spent the whole night on the roof, under the rain. When God asks you to do something, just do it. Don't ask why. And we were inspired to have a house a little bit taller. And in fact, most of the houses in the neighborhood were underwater. Ours was not. We didn't save only our kids, but a lot of neighbors. But I have to tell you, my dear sister, the next day I thought it was over. When I saw the devastation, the destruction, I called it quit. I cried a lot. But again, it's friends here who make me back to the court. Doug Dell, Rhonda Dunham. They were the two first emails that I read. I did cry a lot after reading them. But after reading them, I said, I cannot do this when those people are so encouraging. Instead of the hurricane destroy us, yes, they destroy a lot of buildings and homes, and a lot of people died, but living water didn't have one soul die. And that's a miracle. That's another big testimony we can take the whole night. 2008, the same thing happened. Lots of destruction. But instead of saving a few, living water saved literally thousands of people through our buildings. The buildings were not damaged. They were all fine. During the earthquake, we had a few cracks, but our building were intact. So those bad circumstances, in fact, they made us stronger. They gave us bigger opportunities to serve, and I was taught a lot. What God is and what can do and so forth. And also not to think so-and-so cannot become a Christian. Never think that. Don't look at someone and say, oh, that person is not going to be a Christian. I had a neighbor. She was mean, very mean. When I was helping people, I helped people in the church, people I know was open to help, and I did not help her. And a few months after the hurricane, I was doing door-to-door evangelism. I went to her home, and she said, I would slap my door in your face. What I want. And I was shocked. I said to her, why? She said, during the hurricane, if it were for you, I would be dead. And I said to her, I thought you would not welcome me. She said, when you are in need, your enemies can become your savior. And she was right. I learned that from a witch doctor. She was a witch doctor. You remember I said she was? She became, and after that conversation, I apologized to her. We come to the greeting points. But she became so vicious against the church. She told me in my face, if your church is here by next year, I will become a Christian, and I know it won't be here. And she went to work for the church not to be here. It's here. She didn't want to become a Christian when the time arrived. She fled the area to give up the area of becoming a Christian, the idea of becoming a Christian. Wherever she was in West Palm Beach, Florida, the Lord told her, you have to surrender. And she did. When she finished to accept Christ, the Lord told her, you have to call Salonique to tell him that. She said, no, this is the hardest part. Finally, she called me. 23 minutes long distance call. And she said, now you have to pray for me. And I prayed for her. We become good friends. Still friends. And she is a great Christian. Yeah. So, terrible times, but God used them for His good. I am sure you have not been on our email list. There is a board there on the table. You can write your name to receive our emails. We send 2 emails every month. I've been slacking this month. I have not sent one yet. I said I'm not going to bed tonight without sending one. I will see. Please, you will receive the updates and you will be in the loop to know what's taking place in the ministry. I bless my God for my brother and for all of you. And young people, I'm proud of you. There are a lot of things you could have been doing with the TVs and all those songs and things you could have done. You come to church. We are happy for that. Again, I will remind you, if you have not been a Christian yet, this is the time to do it. You have lots of helpers. I am one of them. Thank you very much. You've been great. May God bless this church. May you continue to grow. May God put you in a situation where you will want the growth of those people more than yours. May God give you a passion for those neighbors who are dying without Christ, to the point you will be bold enough to tell them about Christ. May God give you a passion for prayer for those whom you know, for those whom you don't know, for those you like, and for those you don't like, to pray for them so that they can surrender to Christ. May the Lord use you beyond your wildest imagination to make hell has less people and heaven has more people. Stay faithful unto the end. God bless you and I love you.